Welcome back to the channel. My name is Brad, Supercoach Pro. Today we're talking all the live stream stuff about the players going into this round of round 18, review round 17, talk about our scores and whatnot. I'm just setting up this now. I'm going to send the link to AFL rookie coach Josh. So just bear with me for a second, chat. I'm keen to hear what your thoughts are for the games and your thoughts on Heaney and whatnot. So I'm just going to make sure I get this right, and I'll view all the comments. I'll try not to filter them. If they're pretty wild, I might have to filter them, but no, I'll take most of the comments for sure. I'm just sending him an email now. Give me 2 seconds, chat. I'm not the best multitasker. But just sending him a link. I probably should have done this beforehand, but it's whatever. All right, chat, this is going to be pretty loud, so turn your headphones down. All right, I'm just going to ask him if that went through. Well, you definitely would have heard that little zoom thing. I'll give him a text now, just see how we're going. Invited you, mate. Invited you, mate. Jump on when you're ready. Jump on when ready. All right, I've sent him a link. He should be with us shortly. I'm actually pretty keen. I should get rid of this stupid background. If I win the 50K at one point, this will be my house. This would clearly be my house. I don't play piano, but maybe I'd have to find a woman that plays piano. I'm just talking crap. But anyway, let's just see what's going on. Crazefit's in the house. I see that. G'day, Crazefit. Hope you're doing well, mate. Hope you got a multi this weekend. Doing a little bit of something different, featuring Josh from AFL Rookie Coach shortly, and just talking, taking the piss really tonight. So it probably won't be too serious, but hopefully you guys have trades enough to talk about whatever. But it's going to have a yarn. Scott says, "G'day, Brad." G'day, Scott, mate. The Tigs are on the bottom of the ladder, mate. So we're not going too well. I might go into my settings and get rid of this stupid background. Virtual background, none. Okay, that's a little bit more serious. But tell you how I went for the two of you just sitting there at the moment. What did I score? I think I scored 2-3-1-4. I'll be completely honest. I didn't get to watch a lot of football this weekend. I was out with a friend that you guys would all know, SDS Supercoach, aka Steve, the Wild Menace. We went out for a few cocktails and whatnot. His Hawks didn't get the jobs done. Well, that's fantastic English, but met him out. It's been a while since I've seen Steve in person, and mate, he was very responsible. That lad, he was having a few drinks, but every drink he had, he grabbed the water, which is very responsible for a 24-year-old. I can't believe I captained bloody Sarong. I didn't take Cherry's VC Crazefit, and Cherry scored a 119. I was just playing for broke at the moment, so I'm probably just going to do some wild stuff. I honestly thought Sarong would go 150. So, well, actually, between 150 and 180, I was thinking Sarong would go nuts. And I didn't care. I just at this point where I'm just going to take ridiculous risks, and you guys are going to be like, he's lost his mind. But I'm playing for broke now, so I probably might use 2 trades this week and just put all my chips in. And I don't want to play it safe considering I'm ranked 10K or whatever. So we're just going to play wild now and full send. Oh no, it says 2-3-1-4, but I don't know if that's par this week. It might be. I do got 3 trades in the bank, so we're okay there. What do we got? Crazy. We've got 4 trades, trade and ranking for sure. Apparently it's a 4-week suspension, I'm hearing. I've got to look at the Twitter because I didn't see too many of the games in terms of that. 2-3-1-4 for Scott. That's wild. Apparently ranking 4 weeks. I'll just do it pufferfish. I'm on a live. He's DMing at the moment. Whatever you call it. On a live, jump in if you want. Talk shit. Oh wow, my wording isn't the greatest. I'm not hungover now, but it was it was a good night out with Steve. I was double parking my drinks all night, so that was wild. I don't even know what time I got home, but definitely had a headache all day. While with the background, I got rid of the backgrounds. Now, it's not telling me how many people are in this chat. It does not matter to me. Tell me captain scores. 84 for Ryan, so that was pretty atrocious. I covered that, didn't I? Ryan, oh, here we go. Here we go. Add to the stage. He's in the house. How you going, mate?
Good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks.
What's been happening? I know we've been live for what, a few minutes now?
5 minutes or so. I had a delay. My laptop decided wanted to do updates as I was about to start it up, and I was like, stuff this. I'll have dinner.
Always the way.
Yeah. What do you score this week, though, mate?
I got a measly 23.55.
23.55. I actually think you outscored me, mate. I scored a 2.314.
Oof.
Yeah.
Couple of points. I think I left a good close to 200 points on the bench between Mana and bloody Hutchinson out of all people too, which is really disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, who's to know that he's going to do well, though? Like Mana maybe, but you wouldn't have guessed that Hudjo was going to pull out a bigger one.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate, but it is what it is. There was a fair bit of carnage this round, given captaincy scores and all that sort of stuff. So
I feel like if you got a 2.425 this week, you'd be flying. But anything under 2.4 is a little bit how you going.
I feel like I might be pretty stagnant in my rankings. I don't think I'm going up by any means, but I'd be happy to see a leveling rank. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm just happy to see some green arrows potentially would be nice as well. So
yeah,
it is what it is. Scotty, you got 2, 3, 4, 1, so that's a decent score for the week. Theo's smashed that though. Crazefit's talking about the Rankin thing. I think 3-4 weeks for the suspension. Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw a few things pop up on Twitter about Heaney and Rankin potentially getting suspended, which I don't have Rankin, so that's not bad news for me. Heaney, I think everyone has, so I'd be surprised if he actually cops the suspension. It didn't look like intentional. It was open hand. He might get fined for it. I reckon if they try to suspend him, I reckon it might get challenged. I wouldn't be too worried. But Rankin, yeah, I think he's at least gone for 2 at a minimum.
Yeah. I mean, it's wild because it depends who you are, depending what you get off on as well. Because if it wasn't Haney and it's someone else, they probably just get a week for something stupid.
Yeah, or if you're a good bloke or not.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's a load of crap. But Theo, I'm jealous of that score. What do you rank?
24.90. Jesus, I think I dream about those numbers in my team.
I do too. I think I felt like I score better on the buys sometimes.
Mate, I was actually doing quite well before the buys, and then the buys came around. But the first spy round did okay, and then it's just been downhill since.
I didn't plan well for the buys. It was I dismissed it early on. I was like, stuff. I just picked best available, but I went too heavy round 13. It's really hit me. So it's been a little bit stitch up.
I think I wish at the start, before I started actually playing Supercoach, I wish I'd actually looked at some strats, because I jumped in off a mention of a workmate and did not know how to play Supercoach properly. I knew that it existed, but in regards to the strats, in regards to trade planning, doing all that sort of stuff, I've been winging it since day one. And that's the whole point of my side of content is I'm a first year. I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't come to me for expert tips. Come to me to see what not to do.
Well, it's like first year's always hard, especially when you're starting something up. You're just trying to wing it, and they'll probably still ask questions anyway, because you still watch enough games for it to be relevant. It's not like you don't watch any at all and whatnot. But when we're having a kick of the footy, that was interesting. My kicks weren't too great today, but at least
I think we were a bit rusty for both of us.
I think we both.
Hey, Damo, mate.
Sorry,
Supercoach Edge is in here. I can see he's
he says the big fella. Yeah, he loves it. I got to do a potty with him soon as well. I've been he's edging me. I just get in my my DMs. One of his.
He's just a tease.
He is. He's
go out for a bit of dinner for 2. That's what you got to do.
Oh, I'll take them both out for dinner. Supercoach Edge is going, how about our wannabe captain options? Oh, yeah, literally. Leading into the
Yeah.
round, them turning into a pile of sheets. And even the subbing thing's a load of crap, but I feel like we probably didn't empt it to come this close. Like maybe round 20 onwards, we're probably thinking that would happen,
Mm.
but not like round 16, 17. That's early as shit.
I think it's just like back to back as well. Like last week, I captained Houston against Saints, who really, when you think about it, there a bit of thought into it. You're like, yeah, cool. That's probably a safer choice, and it just
Yeah.
didn't happen. And then like Dacos couldn't turn up, and it was a coin flip of Merritt and Dacos, and I went Merritt last week and got burned. I think it was a bit of, I think I was holding on to a bit of hate from last week, so I didn't chuck it on him, and I should have because he popped off.
Yeah, well, it is hard though. Like to be fair, every time I go to VC or C Bond, it's the week not to do it. So
Yeah,
I get,
like,
I get,
oh, he's got the flu, he's sick. Oh, I probably shouldn't. Pops out a big score. Oh, back soreness, like back concern. I probably shouldn't. Does it again. And then this week, I think everyone like I think I had to try really hard not to chuck a VC or C on bot this week
yeah.
because I
Well,
didn't.
like that's the issue too. Like a 119 when you rank 10K for my issue was like, do I just take a punt? Like, what's the worst Sarong's going to do? 110? Was that 84? Gets tagged by Jack Graham apparently.
Yeah, this tag out of nowhere. Just wait, love that because I did the same thing. I had this VC on Dacos, saw the 92. I was like, I can't take that.
Yeah.
I was like, again, toss up. Some people look at it gone. There was wrong. There was Ryan. I'm also wondering why the hell I didn't even consider Butters at all.
Yeah, I
Because
don't know
that
why.
because him and Rosie popped off. I mean, I'm sure there's many reasons why people didn't go for Butters, but obviously hindsight is a beautiful thing and also a very damaging thing because it makes you regret all your choices for captaincies. But I thought Sarong was a good chance at at least 110 against Richmond.
Yeah, that was my thought process. The issue is too, Jack Graham's never tagged a game in his life as a Tigers man. I've never seen that bloke tag. I've seen Pickett
Mm,
tag. And then Jack Graham plays like as a half, like a high half forward. He has a few CBAs, maybe like 6 or 7 per game, but
mm,
he doesn't really got. I didn't think he would have the. Well, he's got the body to match Sarong, I suppose, at stoppage, but I just didn't think he'd have the tank because Sarong loves the cheap ones in the back line as well to link up play and whatnot. So
mm,
I went out having a few bevs, and then I just did not look at my scores. But then I got DMs on Instagram and not Instagram, buddy, Twitter and stuff. And I was trying not to cry myself to sleep that night because it kind of ruins your weekend. So I was kind of letting my players play out and hoping I'd get a 2-3 without looking at every score every minute of the night because that really can shit you
mm.
sometimes.
Yeah, I've definitely found the ebbs and flows of like in actually watching footy again because I
Yeah,
think I said to you today, like before I was into Supercoach, I barely watched football. Like, yeah, I played it growing up, played it for a fair while growing up, and then I just kind of fell out of it, fell into basketball a bit more. And then Supercoach came up, and I'm like trying to watch every game. This is unheard of. Even when I was into footy, I wasn't trying to watch every game. Like, there's just this new height and love for the game, but in that also comes a frustration and emotional ties to when your players go shit, you start hating the game.
yeah, you kind of do. And I think it was Al Patton, Heron's son bloke.
Mm,
He had a photo, I think, of his daughter. I was like, oh, baby, of course. And he goes, "There's more to life than Supercoach," and sometimes that is the case, but it doesn't stop your week from thinking, shit, I've gone down in the ranks again. Here comes my team review, but I'll suck it up. I'll do another round. And been doing this for 3 seasons, making content, and every year progressively get my ranking comes out a little bit. And normally it's generally because I do something wrong every season differently. Like
mm,
when I finished top 1%. 3 seasons ago, so 2022, I just had a good starting side. I traded well. Nothing really went wrong.
mm,
And last year, I sort of took that for granted because I probably should have learnt more lessons and maybe gone back to my videos and see what I actually did right. But last year, I started 100K because my starting team was shit, and I didn't correct it early on. The players that I should have. So I
mm,
went from 100K and trying to make 100K from round 1 all the way down to 6K finish was the hardest thing I've ever done in Supercoach.
mm.
This year, I've sort of had a weird year where I've just been mediocre. I've been between 5 and 12K, been pushed in and out. And I don't really. I'm going to have to do an analysing video, and this is what we're talking about when I'm having a kick in the footy on
Mm.
saying, so went wrong. I mean, and this is no, like when you're 20K, you can kind of see something, but when you're in a weird patch of 5 to 10K, you can't see any amazing things because there is only 300 or 400 points between 10K and
That's
like
right. That's
top
right.
3K. So I won't know till round 24 what the hell I did wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, that's 100% right. And that's what I'm like kind of noticing as well. And like as Magic, he does it. He broke it up really well. One of his last videos where you look at the point differences between each ranking groups, and you can
Yeah.
kind of figure out like, okay, like you get a pod here, and that will help potentially get you up to that next level that you want. And it's like, yeah, at this 20K plus, you kind of already know what you did wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I look back and I watch Abs, I watch you, I watch Shorty and Damo and all these local legends in the we'll call it the industry for lack of a better word, and I'm like that's where I went wrong. I did this wrong. But it's like as a first year, I think everything I've done is going to be masters wrong. There's going to be a few. I got lucky for sure at the start of the season. Like I think within the first 2 rounds, I was in the top 5K, and
Yeah.
then it just went.
Yeah.
And then my actual rank, which kicked in, I think 8 rounds in
Yeah.
after some carnage, was like 75K, and then I've climbed back up to. I think the highest I've gotten so far was like 16K.
Yeah.
And now I'm back down to 25, which I think if I can finish in the top 3, like 30K, I'll consider that a win
Yeah.
for a
That's
first
it.
year.
I feel like the more you like, especially with a channel, when you have a channel, especially early on, you watch it a shit ton of games. Like the first 10 weeks, I reckon I barely missed a bloody game. But when you start running out of trades, you don't really watch too many games because there's none of your players that you really need to trade out. Like I've got 3 trades. I could trade out Took, I could trade out, etc. But like I'm just using them for an injury trade. So now I'm just waiting for those players. Like if Took's 3 or 4 weeks and I find out it's a fractured wrist, and I've fractured my wrist before, as I was saying today, that was a 6-week injury for me. If he's got a fractured wrist and they line him up for 2 weeks, I'm trading him because I know what a wrist fracture is. And when you've had injuries, it's kind of easy to tell. And I was telling you today how I called Kirchner wouldn't play at around 16, 17. And that was bang on too. But these stupid AFL injury lists are never accurate for what they actually say. I don't know why they're never honest or what the hell they're doing at these clubs.
That's probably the one thing I've also like never really understood is like the clouds that surround all that sort of stuff around the injuries and like just why is it so hard to just kind of give us like, obviously there's like testing and like they got to pass fitness tests and do all that sort of stuff, but like until then, surely you have an idea. You've got medical professionals in your bloody club for a reason.
That's right. Edging at its finest. I use so many puns with these guys when I'm watching their videos. I'm still waiting for the edging segment to happen, and I just want to feature for that at some point as well.
It'd be a great feature. It'd be 100% a great feature.
Yeah, Cheese is in the house. He says, "I'm going to 0 trays left this week with the emoji."
Cheese, mate. I'm right with you, mate. I've got 1 trade left, and it's probably going to be Sexton to someone. Don't know who, but someone. And then I'm just gonna sit in the corner and kind of watch the games between my fingers as I kind of cry.
I mean, I've heard Spills is down to 0 trades. His full sentence. There's a few of yous that are doing it. Supercoach Edge comes out with 2403 this week, includes Took and a Kurno. That's solid.
Solid score. Yeah. Damo, since you're a Blues boy, what's happening with bloody Kurno? That's 2 like back-to-back weeks of like really subpar scores.
Well, I can tell you the week before he was playing on Ben Miller, and Ben Miller for Richmond's been doing a really good job at the moment. Even his scoring in Supercoach has been like 3 tons in a row. I don't know what he scored last night because I was about 14 drinks in and a headache later. But looking at the man's scoring capability, I don't know if maybe Curno's just gas out and it's too predictable. They're always like, oh, let's go for Charlie. Let's go for Charlie. Let's go for Charlie. So maybe he's getting 2-on-3, matchups. Sorry, 1-on-2s. Because when I watch Tom Lynch, he's always got 2 blokes on him. He's always cracking the shits because he's always got, 2 defenders on him. And then someone else can open up. And that's where you're hoping Mackay does the other thing. And Mackay comes up higher to the ground. So he's going to get more possessions. But from what I've watched with Curnow, it's always clutch things. It's always been really good. He can only sometimes he has 9 or 10 touches, but they're crucial goals where he gets ridiculous scaling for breathing. But I'll take it most of the time.
Yeah, I know this. Like he's obviously a proven like scorer and can pull out some really big numbers. Like I look through. I don't think I've analyzed stats or anything like that as much as I have when it comes to like assessing players when you train them in. Like I was feeling quite confident with Kerno, and then like debut week, he scores like a 118 or something. I was like, yes,
Yeah.
solid trade in, and then yeah, it's just been a bit underwhelming since. But I also think I think Damo put out a tweet kind of actually being quite mad with the Blues that they didn't swing Kerno back when
Yeah.
he was getting all that attention.
Yeah. And I'm sure they'll tell us in the comments what happened because it probably wasn't my greatest week to review certain players. I might have to. I do Arvo shift, so I can watch some games in the morning just so I know what's going on a little bit. But Supercoach Edge, said great first season of content, lad. So he's appreciating the content, mate. And that's the thing is like first year, no one's going to have any expectations anyway. They're just here to watch you ride, and that's the journey that not many people get to see these days because not a lot of
The
people
ride's
start.
going down. we peaked. We peaked. We're going down. But thanks, Damo. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And you're a Geelong lad, mate, so it's good to, meet you today 'cause
100%.
they're all
Yeah,
in
yeah.
majority of them, so, and I don't wanna come to Geelong. I get it. It's an hour or 2
Can't
far.
can't blame him. Can't blame him.
Yeah. Cheese. I captained Butters and still scored 2 triple three. That score looks nicer. I don't know why. That number's really
It's just the
appealing.
threes. It's the
Yeah.
Holy Trinity. That's what it is.
Maybe
Holy
that's what
Trinity of cheese.
I love his name. So JG's in the house. I feel ya. He goes, I nearly cried when Gorn was subbed off. It was looking like a 120. He got 100 from scaling in the end because I saw
That's
it was
still
yeah.
still not a bad captain. Like that's I'd say Dare's safe captaincy score. Even like he got scaled up to that. So I think like he'd be okay.
Yes, yeah. Edge is in the house still there. So VC on the bond for me. C on Sarong. Yeah, shit. Yeah, I did the same thing, but I had Cherry 119. So I think maybe next time if I go to 115 plus like Zorko the week before, I might just take it. I know I want to play risky, but I also don't want to go out in a ridiculous manner where I just go to 40k and just look like a peanut for the season. But looked like a way up, easy captain. Fucking Uze, since when did they tag? They don't tag. That's the issue, Edges. It's really edging me. Like, why do we need a tag um when we're on the bottom of the ladder anyway? What does that value? Graham's probably going to Crows or Port next year. Like he just delist the bloke. He's bloody useless anyway. I don't know if they're going to use him as a tagger forever, but why tag when you're in the bottom of the ladder? It'll only be handy now if he tags players that I don't own in Supercoach, but that's selfish. What do you think, mate?
Yeah, I think it's or when you look at like how the taggers have actually been impacting the game over like the last month, for example, like it's only really over the last month that like the taggers have really done some absolute damage. Like I think before that, when Hager was kind of like softly tagging, and then you had Jordan who did the main tag. Like he was the main person you thought about with the tags that were affecting, super coach wise, scoring ability, but overall, and then other teams have gone, oh, that's not a bad idea. We should have a look at that. And I think it just teams like even if you're on bottom of the ladder, I think they're just experimenting and just trying to, especially for like Richmond, if you and you see the same with North when you're towards the bottom of the ladder, it's just about building a bit of confidence back in your team now. To try and finish the season strong, and especially like North, who've got a lot of young guns that it's just I think it's more of a confidence building thing. I think it's for us frustrating when you get someone like Sarong that sees attention and Tigers come out and just suddenly can tag and
Yeah.
can't do much about it. But it's not. I don't think it's really a surprise that all teams are looking at trying and throwing some plays that you wouldn't even think as taggers to see what happens. Like it's just throwing shit at the wall and see what sticks.
Good point, Terry. And I think that the thing with the only benefit for next year's Supercoach is most players will be cheap enough if all these tags keep happening for the final 8 rounds.
Yeah.
There'll be no play over 600k, so you'll be able to buy every play for 550 and not even have to worry about picking value because everyone will be tagged. So
That's the thing. That does the tag continue? Do we see the tag for the rest of the season, or
I think
yeah?
I think they do because, like you just mentioned, I think it's been so effective with these players that I think, like you said, if the shit sticks, why not just throw it at it? So
It'd be interesting to see how the picks go then, because you'd be like, okay, let's not pick like the main number one, go like the number 2 or 3 from like a super coach perspective, because they're going to see it's like Dunkley and Neil are like the perfect example here. Like Neil I didn't watch the Adelaide and Crows game. I don't think Neil got tagged, and I know he popped off, absolutely popped off, and Dunkley popped off too. But like
Yeah.
Dunkley's been like that more consistent high pick because he's number 2. He doesn't get the attention. Neil gets all the attention.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
from
then
like,
you're second best player, don't you?
but that's the thing. Like that's like from a Supercoach side of things. Like you could use that as a tactic. Is like you never go the main guns. Like instead of a Butters, you go a Rosie. Instead of Neil, you go Dunkley. That sort of
And
thing.
this is why I brought you on, because there's knowledge that I have with untapped, and there you go. So I didn't even really think of that. It makes perfect sense.
Grain of salt, guys.
The
I know shit.
JG just says, how many weeks for Rankin to get rid of him? I think even if it's an injury now, anything over 2 weeks, I'd get rid of. And this is a suspension question anyway. I think anything over 2 get rid of for this as well.
It's hard if you bring him in as well. Like you brought him in off your buy, you got like one or two decent scores, and then he's already gone for another 2-3 weeks. Like it's really if you got the trades, like I definitely consider getting rid of him. If you got like less than 3, yeah, I don't know. I mean, you're talking to someone will have 0 trades in by the time round 18 starts. So it's not. I can't really say much because I'm getting Sexton down to a bloody Hollands at this point, and Hollands played poorly this week.
You might as well keep Sexton. Is he your F6?
Yeah, you'd be the F6. So, and this is, mind you, this is in hope that Fisher comes back. If Fisher is out for like another week, I might even just trade Fisher up and just get a better play, like a higher tier player potentially.
Yeah, that's a hard one, isn't it? Because it also depends on your rookie covers as well. Like if JJ's got rookie covers and he can whip early on, then he can decide later. I never got to really like. I went to Whip Richards. He scores a 34, and then I'm like, oh, Fraser. Now Steve texts me, and I was at work. Thank God he texted me. What a gun. He goes, oh, by the way, Fraser's sub. If he didn't text me that, I would have had Fraser F6, and I wouldn't have got a Dowling 67. So it's nice because sometimes I open the Twitter chats, but it's the last thing on my mind is Twitter in comparison to a text message. So when he shot that out, I was like, oh, no, typical Bevo stitched me up. So now I'm just like, shit, now I've just traded Bruce Revel. I don't know how he went tonight, but I've traded the wrong rookie. After 2 weeks, I can finally go, yep, that was the wrong call. But who's to know that Bruce is not getting subbed when Ashcroft is playing again? Like, what the fuck?
And I guess that's kind of the thing as well, is like you just don't know these things until you kind of see it. And it's kind of one of those things that turns around and bites you. Because I think most people, I think even DR, he's a Brisbane man. He was, pretty confident that Brucey might see the subvest with Ashcroft back.
That's right.
And it just hasn't happened.
And that's the other thing is like the supporters of their own clubs don't really know. And that's not a dig at anybody, obviously. It's just like that's like just rookie roulette, isn't it, really?
100%. Well, you'd be happy to know that Reveal only got 6 points more than Fraser.
Yeah, okay. Now I'm not mad. I'm still disappointed. It's like when your parents say, I'm not mad, but I'm disappointed.
Yes.
Yeah. Edge just said only 7 weeks left, so 4 is virtually half the season. Yeah, so he's correct. He's tagged him in that comment anyway. He goes, I reckon 3 is a push for me. I'm hoping 1 or 2. I guess they'll find out Monday, Tuesday. I don't know when they do them, but it's normally early in the week. He says, yeah, that's a great way to look at it, Damo. We've got some elite talent in the house tonight. I do admit, like some of the stuff in the chats too, they've helped me a lot. And I'm not going to say they've ever stitched me up, but they've definitely helped me.
All right, you can tell them. I'm sure they're big boys. They can handle it.
Oh yeah, oh mate. Some of the chats in there are pretty wild. I was out last night when I'm with Steve, and I didn't realize it was recording. And then he sent photos in group chat, saying I was on the prowl or something like that. And I was just like, oh no. And when you get those photos where you're just not looking the best, and you're like, shit. Now it's in group chat.
I've got a few bad ones from Home House from back in the day that I still have on my Facebook somewhere.
I felt
not great.
Not great. Nah. I felt way too ancient to go out to the clubs last night when I did. And I was like, oh, what am I doing here? I shouldn't just be watching Richmond get the smash, but that's not an option at this point because we're doing terrible. So, Are you a Cats man? I didn't even ask you.
I dare say I've leaned more into Essendon. Like whenever I looked at the footy, I was definitely more of a Bombers. I was a Catters growing up, and then whenever I wanted to check in on AFL, I was always curious and more interested in what the Dons were doing.
Yeah. No, that makes
But love the category. I think the one frustrating thing for me being this week is I'm not sure seeing the role change for Stewart because now he's getting mid time.
I think he's better as a mid.
I do too, and that makes me angry because I traded him out and pretty much brought Holmes in because Holmes was dominating that kind of mid halfback role, and then it kind of looks like that switched. Like looks like Stewart might be getting some more time. Or better priority in the midfield than Holmes at the moment. They're just trying things to see what's happening because Stewart's role in half back hasn't been optimal. He hasn't been able to perform that well. So they're just
That's
trying to fix that. And I mean, that's great for the category because, like, cool, they're getting, they're going to stay in the top 8, and that's always good. But Supercoach wise,
it's hard to find that out. I'm just looking at his scoring history last year. I just want to know what he averaged because I got completely catfished, and I've never thought he was a trap pick, and he's been called a trap pick over the years because just like random injuries and stuff. But I'm gonna go on Footy Wire. Normally tells you, and I feel like I paid 600,000 for this bloke at the start of the year, and he was averaging wild stuff every year that he's been in the AFL. And then I bring him in, and he all of a sudden gets tagged the first half of the season. So he started at 635K. The bloke averaged. Here's his things like from 2020, 100, 107, 109, 113, 113 last year, and now he's 95 this year. So he's essentially 20 points per game, and that's huge. It's a huge drop off. So like, I didn't see that coming, and I'm mad because like, who's meant to predict that a defender will get all the attention and not your midfielders? I don't know.
yeah. But I think like the light at the end of the tunnel for any Stewart owners is that honestly, I think it's safe to assume that this role kind of sticks. Like this role change for Stewart, I think it sticks because he's been doing so. Like he had a few decent clearances out of the at a centre bounce as well. Like there was just a lot of good impact. Like he had a really highly impactful like role.
Yeah.
And he hasn't had that. By the last 2 weeks, he just hasn't had that. And like Holmes has been pretty good. I still think it's a good pick, but I am definitely concerned about where that shifts his role because then he's more monitoring the halfback while Stewart's pushing up.
Yeah,
So
it might be one of those things where it's just a week to week. One does well and the other does shit too. It could be just that.
it literally could be a Kerno and Mackay situation where Kerno got 33 and McKay's I think he survived on like an 82, for example.
Yeah, it might just be one of those, and I don't know. But JJ says I have 3 trades left, so it's 2 trades remaining with 7 weeks left. Oh yeah, or 3 trades in copying Sir Isaac. I think I'd probably just trade, especially like personally, if I was him and I had a ranking and I was down to 2 trades, I'd do it because I was looking at moving Fisher on from a 1 to 2 week thing, and then I wouldn't have had to copy 67 from Dowling, and I would have grabbed Dylan Moore this week. But in hindsight, I should have just went early and grabbed Cardwell. But hindsight's a wonderful thing in this bloody game. You can all these if muts and maybes, but if you don't do it, it's whatever. It's your own fault.
100%, and that's like probably the one thing that I've looked at as well with looking at players and training them in is like I did not have Ryan until after his bye. So I missed out on all that, and you see that, and you're like, oh yeah, I need those scores. Like it's like a almost like reflux thing is that you chase the scores because you just see all these pretty scores, and you're like, yeah, he's gonna do that when I debuted him, and then he gets a fucking 80 on the first week, and you're like, I think that's probably the biggest lesson I've had for myself is don't pay top dollar for him. Because I did the same for Merritt, did the same for Ryan. I paid like over $650 for him, and it did not work out for like the next 2-3 games. So I'm like, oh, I could have gotten better value here, or
And that's probably one thing too. Then thinking about it, that's probably my downfall too. Is why I don't have a 23rd Primo because I paid $597 for Houston. I paid over 600K for Gorn, and I was thinking about it. I don't know if it was today or yesterday, but I was like, oh, I haven't really paid up for Primos, but I've paid about 4 Primos around that 600K mark. But they're all valid too. Like Luke Ryan, 644, he was valid. I got big scores out of him. Max Gorn was killing me at the start of the season. I got big scores out of him. Every one of them was justifiable, bar Houston. But I think that killed my cash gen and not being able to get a McKercher as a 23rd. Like some of those teams you see out there, they're pretty well cut. And I'd almost rather go down to 1 trade and have a 23rd than than just play rookies for 1 week situations.
Especially if you've planned like the DPP swings as well, where
Yeah,
that 23rd can also help you cover both lines if you've got the swings.
yeah, that's right.
So,
And that's what's hard is like that DPP. Bringing in these rookies for DPP, it'd actually be nice if some of them didn't get injured when you brought them in. So, Josh has gone bang, scored a 2.574. That's huge.
massive. That is massive. Good
Yeah,
shit.
that's
someone who definitely didn't screw up their captaincy.
Yeah, he probably took a 150 from a Butters kind of man, Edge has come out and said, I'm in the same boat, man. I'm down to 2, and I also have took issues. So I might have to swallow one and punt the other. Yeah, I think I'm going to have knowing what injury it is, I'm probably going to punt Took over anybody in my side as well. Unfortunately, Took is like owned in like 1 in every 4 sides as well, so it's actually a huge loss. Dempsey's carrying hard, so Dempsey must have scored huge. So
Dempsey did. Dempsey has been putting on a bloody clinic lately. Like,
I wonder if he wins the Rising Star.
he's played so well. That was like probably a rookie that I did miss. But it's the same with like Ambrosio. Like, they had their low games, and when you look at rookies for the purpose of trading them, you don't really look at like the potential of cover, especially when it comes to like mid-season. You're not looking ahead into cover. You're looking at maximizing cash and trading them down to trade someone up, and it's like like Ambrosio and Dempsey. Most people would have traded them, but if you've held on to them because you had better trades or other people to trade out, like, you've been bloody well rewarded. Like Dempsey's last 3 games, he had a 122 against Richmond, a 50 against Sydney, but then a 99 against Carlton and a 104 against Essendon.
He's an impact player. That's his thing too. He's just
100%.
such an impact player. I think for me, sorry, I'm getting stupid Snapchats, but I think for me, my Supercoach rookies, I don't really, at the start of the year, obviously I want job security, but funnily enough, during the buys, I want players that I think will play for the rest of the season because of this whole carnage. So I was looking at your Downs and I'm like, all right, he's not sub. He's actually good cover. Then I was like, Joel, who's less likely to get subbed, Joel or Fraser? Joel or Revel. So I kind of look at job security for rookies more heavily, the ones that I know I'm going to have to keep for the season. But it's like such a sliding doors moment because it's always the one that you traded that is the one you should have kept every damn time. And that's what I hate about Supercoach. It's probably the rookies giving the most shits. All these fake
I think. But the thing is, like, Primos though, is like it's been proven time and time again. Like, it's just a flux. You saw Dawson have a really slow season start, and then he had a purple period, like a purple patch, where he just went nuts, and now he's kind of come back down. Same with LU. He quiet for the first half of the season, then he went bang. And he's maintained something. Like, if they're like that's the thing. If they're a proven primo, not just like a primo for the sake of whatever, how they ever got that term, you can kind of like justify holding them through, and then on the later half of the season, correct that if needed.
It's kind of like, I've mentioned Chad Warner multiple times, but people were hot on Chad Warner. I thought, nah, this is a bloody purple patch. He's never really been a hot pick, for the last few years. It's just a purple patch. I'd almost rather go for that primo like you're talking about that's been doing it year on year rather than that guy this is his first year. Let's pick out a breakout for a pod.
It's the same with Rao. It wasn't a primo before this season. He had a really, really strong start, and then it's just been questionable ever since.
That hurts because I was one of those guys that bought him in for 550.
I
was like, value, he'll bounce back, and then they moved him to the wing, but maybe we've took out, maybe that helps Rao.
I definitely think it could. I think it, if you look at taggers with took out, now there's less options because you see people go to Anderson.
They should go
because there's only 2. Like, they probably still will go to Anderson, but they haven't got other people to worry about now. They've got Brown, who is strength. His strength is in like being a pure inside mid.
That's right.
But if they're blocking that, whatever they're doing, because that's what teams have been doing. Like, they haven't been letting Rao do Rao things. And for whatever reason, he's absolutely shocking when he plays away from home. Must carry some real. They all carry some bad homesickness. I don't know what they're doing over there, but
it's ridiculous. And then, so Dimmer, those new toys, I hope they're doing well for you. Shove them up, yeah. Jimmy held Fisher, played Kruger for 2-4-3-1, ranked 65. I wonder if I lost spots. I reckon he might actually go down. If you're 65 and you scored a 2-4, I think I'd be wanting to score a 2-5, but he might not go that far out. I
I
don't
don't
think.
think he's going to go that far. I think be all right, Jimmy. I think it's not going to be something you can't recoup.
Yeah, I think he'll push him out just outside the top 100 if I had to guess, but I don't know. I guess he'll let us know at some point if it opens up. Cheese, Gov, Rankin, and Heaney will miss next week for me. Yeah, Gov went to hospital for some rib issue or something. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I think from what I could see, they needed to check that he was able to fly home because of his lung and rib issues. If they're because my brother actually has similar lung issues because he ended up popping his ribs and popped a lung and all that shit. There's actually a lot of testing that needs to do to make sure you can actually go up in the air. Because if all that pressure, if that isn't good, that's a lot of damage to be done. So I have no idea what happened. I don't even know if this is still live. If it is, Brad's gone. It's still saying that we're live, so I don't have any control over anything. Can I see the comments? I can. I have the power. Can I join the chat? I don't know how to use StreamYards. So sorry, lads, if this is going to get. Yeah, Brad Frozen. This is now my channel, guys. You're welcome. Quick shout out why he's not here. He's an absolute legend. Make sure you guys always show him the love. He is an absolute top bloke. And just a good bloke to have a kick of the footy with. Been very welcoming into the community. Someone very, very new. So been really, really good. But I can't highlight the comment, but I can see them. So I will talk about them. Yeah, Kerno, as Damo was saying, getting double teamed in recent rounds. Yeah, I did see that, and it's just annoying. And I did see that he wasn't not getting switched around into. Take. I could tank his channel, Damo. 100% could tank his channel. Can I join the chat? Oh, I've got to connect my YouTube account. I'm not prepared to take over and run my own live streams on Brad's channel. But yeah, it's just unfortunate about Kerno getting double teamed and it's just not fun. But I still have faith in him. Corey got 2277, which is that's definitely a painful one. Rao, Dawson, Kerno. Yeah, Ryan captain. I think most people, unless you did a nice VC on like merit or a captain on Butters, for example, I think most people copped a pretty low captaincy score or VC score. So I think it's purely, did you have good cover for fish? Did you have any? I had horrible cover for fish, for example. I could have traded out fish and brought in like Cardwell, which should have been the right choice. That should have been the main thing to do. But I didn't do it. All right. Brad's internet went out, guys. He's going to fix it and be back. I'm not sure if he needs to rejoin or if he needs to close. So if this, or there you go. I send you a link back to your stream. Hold on. Is that even a thing I can do? Settings. Let's have a look here. This is where we just need one of those, the meme sounds. I don't think I have that option to do that. I can't present. Look, mate. Brad, you're locked out. Brad, you're watching this. This is my channel now. This is mine. Well, I don't know if I can leave the studio. Copy my URL. Mate, shout out to JG for being an absolute legend. Absolute legend. I'm going to send it to you via your email, Brad. I'm just going to reply back to the one you sent me. So, if we've learned anything from the last 10 minutes, guys, sub to Brad so we can afford better internet. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. All right, sent you the link, mate. Hopefully you can join back in. I'm not leaving the studio, mate. I'll leave in the studio now. Let's go back. Yeah, reveal only 36. Yep. And yeah, like Warner, someone like Warner is definitely top value when he can have those games. Like he's clearly proven he has a high ceiling. It's just like the consistency factor that comes into play. Like I think that's my biggest thing that I've looked at and learnt is choosing players that are safer. Like I looked at Dunkley. This annoys me so much about Dunkley too. Is I looked at Dunkley so early on because I saw the consistency that like form that he's had previously, and I was like, there's probably a good chance. Like even if he only averages like 110, 115, I still think it's a great pick. And then he's just like had massive ceiling games. That's so annoying to watch. Let's have a look. I don't know where he is, guys. But I'm just going to keep going through the comments. If not, I'll leave the studio and break and restart it. But yeah, Common. Yeah, Common's been insane. Bit of an up and down, bit of a roller coaster. Wilmar got a 2085. That sounds like absolute chaos. Took, and you still need a pre-mate. Look, hey, if it makes you feel any better, I will be finishing my team with. Oh, is he back? Oh, he's back.
Oh, mate. I can't
Welcome
believe
to my channel. Welcome to my channel.
Oh, I think I just purely need to get to 1K subs so I can afford better internet, and maybe I'll get a microphone, and maybe I'll get a nose job. I don't know. Not the nose job part.
I'm sorry, Damo. Brad got back before I could say I was the captain. Now we missed an ample opportunity.
It was the weirdest thing watching my own live stream, and I'm like, I wonder if people have ever tuned on right now thinking that's not Brad. What the hell is
Brad?
on? He
grow all this blonde hair and a beard, like.
Oh, bro, that was wild. Don't miss much because I don't know.
No, I was just going through the comments, just talking about some absolute chaos. We got to Wilma, because I can't highlight the comments because my YouTube's not linked, so I don't know how to do that.
Now I just refreshed my page, so I was actually okay.
There you go.
So, you up to Wilma?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even. Wow, I missed a little bit. Yeah, right. There you go. Oh, can you actually click on the comments on your end, FYI?
I can click on them. I don't know if they show up. I can see them in the comments on the panel. I can't join the chat. I reckon if I was to join the chat, I could potentially do it, but I don't have my YouTube linked to StreamYard.
So where did you say we're up to, Wilma?
Wilma, talking about the chaos of the 2085. There we go.
This one. Yeah, okay. I follow you now. I'm back in the program.
Back to the regular program, guys.
Yeah. So you scored. Oh no, that's a blunder. Yeah, okay. That's what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's wild. His first season as well. There you go. Well, you're going to make mistakes, especially for your first season. So I wouldn't be too hard on yourself. Still need. Yeah. When did you get your last premium for your first season on this?
Oh. When did I get my what last primo?
Yeah. When did you get your final upgrade?
I mean, hopefully this week, if we want to call it that. We're getting a value pick as an upgrade for our final upgrade. I'll be rocking a rookie. I'll be rocking 21 primos. So, because I severely made some bad trades. Because I was just sick of watching certain primos, like Steel, for example. Just couldn't, Clary, another one, Moore. I traded out Moore. Like, you want to talk about two blunder trade outs, Moore and Sheasel were the ones.
Yeah, when you're talking about the Sheasel one, funnily enough, I did mention weeks ago the Sheasel thing. You could cash him out and turn him into two primos, though, because he was almost like around the 600K mark. So I've seen people throw comments like that. If your player gets a 650K and you know they're going to come down at some point, and you put a rookie that's 350K, so you got $1 million to get two value picks, maybe 500K roughly each. You can almost turn those into two primos. But 9 times out of 10, it doesn't really work well because those 500K players are 500K for a reason.
Well, that's very true. That's very true. But there's just things like that. Like it's the really age-old tale of like hold your primos, focus on getting rookies off field. And
sure.
I, in my first year, decided, nah, we're doing something different. I'm sick of watching these players play. Like, but it is what it is. I'll take my lessons, and I'm already prepping for 2025. It's gonna be a better year.
I can finally say I haven't put the Q in the rack, but I'm definitely planning for 2025 now. It's the first time I've ever planned or even thought about it this early on, and probably due to my decisions in the last 4 weeks. Wilma had Joey, both on the field, double 30s. You guys went silent. That's because I cut out, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there was a moment you were frozen on my screen. I'm like, is this my end? Is this my end that's playing up? And then it kept saying live, and I was like, oh, well, this is my channel now. So and then the next comments are just basically that. So although I think Jay 2685 in one of his league matches.
That's wild. Oh yeah, they wanted you to take over. Drop C bombs on the channel would have been wild. Oh, JO009 sounds like a password. There is 2685 in my league. That's huge.
That's nuts.
I was about to say I would kill for that score, but not quite. But that's wild.
You consider it?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it depends how many years you're going to get. You should have done I'm the captain now.
I didn't.
Sure.
I saw that comment as you joined, and I was like, oh, just me.
Yeah, because I sent you a text, and I'm like, I'm not sure how I do this. It was unexpected, and it's the first time it's happened in a couple months as well. So TPG, get your game up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wild. Kevin says g'day. Saying hello to
Kevin. Yeah, mate.
Hopefully
he's had a better week than us.
What was that last bit?
Hopefully he's had a better week than us, and at least got a 2400 in his super coach.
I'm just looking at my side now. It's not as disappointing as I first thought. The only one downfall is probably Houston in my back line, and Dacos is only 8 points underwhelming. It's really only took Miller and Rao. Overall, I bought in Tom Green for like 490K, so I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. But he scored a 96, so it's like whatever.
Yeah, I think the only real one I'm just like Houston's a big disappointment, but I started Houston as well, so I got all his decent scores and got his consistence, and then all of a sudden everyone else jumped on him and he's just gone to shit. So
how is our trade going from Clary to Rosie? We're talking about.
Right, yeah. So I think like my trades of late have been much smarter. Like I think the Clary to Rosie, while like the first game, it was only like 3 points of difference because I think Clary finally turned up. Yeah. But this week it's like almost 110. I think it was like Clary's 51 to Rosie's 168. Like
it's wild, like 100% gap in one game, and everyone's like, see, you should have held Clary. Nah, sorry, I'm gonna drop the F-bomb, but fuck Clary. Like he's been so dismal, and I've been trying to have his back every time. But I said last week too, that 100 he pulled was like one of the best games he's played. So considering that was one of his best games, he scored 100 from that was a red flag for me. But at the start of the season, before he got injured, these are his scores. Before Rosie's injuries, 114, 90, 102, 152, 125. Then I think he had one poor game there, 65. It's not injury related. But then he had like a 91 off 66 minutes. And then from there, it's injury by injury by injury. But his last 2 weeks before this 168, it was always coming like 111, 103. He's the captain of your club. Like, he's a good player. He's always been better than
100%.
Clary this season anyway. Like, Clary just doesn't look fit. Like, you can see he's got a little bit of a gut on him just in terms of, footy fit. And that's not taking a piss. You know what 100%. I mean?
No, but he looks it as well. Like, not even like physically, like him being on the field. He's not like the hustle's not there. He just looks like tired. He looks lazy.
Yeah. Well, this is his preseason for him.
100%. But I think probably one of the better trades I've made this whole season was Jai Clark up to McKercher, and that was this week.
Yeah,
that gained me so many. Like that's a quick debut 134 of Kircher. That's solid.
He's probably
me a lot
next year. Would you go McKercher next year?
It really depends, right? Because I think this score from McCurch is inflated because Fisher wasn't in.
Yeah, okay.
Because Kirch got all the kick-ins. If Fisher
Yeah.
comes back and they both maintain that role, I think Kirch still plays very, very well. I still think he has a good chance of averaging 80 to 90 for the rest of the season. And I hope to say the same for Fisher. But I think when it comes to priority list, I think Kirch is more priority. So I think if anyone's going to cop a potential role shift or anything, that's going to be Fish over Kirch. Like Kirch is their crown jewel at this point. You know, you got like you got all those young blokes that they're like prioritizing to get in some good minutes and get into a good fixed role. Kirch is one of them. Sheasel's another. Fisher could be up there, but Kirch has been out for how long now? Like, has Fisher done enough to maintain that? Like, we don't know. So
Imagine he
I
doesn't
think
get named.
Kirch is definitely a look at next season for sure. If this is like the sort of output we're getting.
Yeah. Well, imagine if like Fisher has to play in the twos, like it's a little bit of a wild call, but imagine they just bring him in through the twos and go, you know what, McCurch is taking your role. That'd be disappointing.
Oh yeah.
And people got no
Ooh.
traits. Like everyone's on like between 1 and 3. Some of you 0. As yourself
Yep.
will be 0. But like we're going to get carnage in that last month, and that's why I was so skeptical to get rid of my last trade on the weekend. To go down to 2 even from Fisher to Moore, because if Fisher comes back next week, then I've got no loop for Fisher to cover a defensive spot.
Mm.
So my issue was I'm looking at my side as a whole, and I actually need a spare DPP midfielder forward for players like Bloody Kerno now that just shit in the bed because Carlton's game plan is clearly just kick at the Charlie and that's it. So
Yeah. Let's get 3 people on Charlie and still try to do it when it doesn't work.
Yeah, that's what's frustrating is like everyone's like, oh, the fixture. I picked him up before his buy. I actually went early on him, 2 weeks before his buy. I didn't really care about the fixture. I cared that I think he's going to win the Coleman, so I thought no matter what, he'd play well. And now people be trading him out this week. But I'm even considering bringing in Sean Mannon this week. As you were talking about today, he's got a 118. So him, I don't know what he'll go to price-wise. It probably looks around that 170K, I reckon, if I had a punt on it.
I dare say so.
He's got a negative break even of negative 19. If it was projected to go at 30, it went to 22K. He actually might be closer to 200K. But I'm considering, 2 downgrades and grabbing Manor as a spare and McCurcher as my 23rd, if I can.
For sure. I think that's definitely a solid play. I don't like the idea of holding on to Sexton, but, I've got Dowling and Maynard in the bloody midfield and no way to get him forward because I did not think about my rookie trade-ins for my forward line. So I got just 2 forwards stuck there. So I might even trade out McMullen just to get Maynard down there and bring in like a Humphreys just to get some DPP moving again. And then just call it a season and just watch, and see what happens. But I think with that said, mate, I am going to leave. I'm going to hand over the channel back to you.
No worries.
It was fun. I have enjoyed it much. We'll definitely have to do this again, and I'll definitely have to look at setting up some live streams on my channel. It's just good fun. Good fun.
Yeah, it is. It's just something different and definitely entertaining. But thanks for jumping on. Thanks for taking over the channel when my internet cut out because I was going to have to redo a whole thing. But it's good to follow today and have a bit of a kick at the footy and whatnot. So enjoy it, mate. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll speak to you soon, I'm sure.
Easy done. Have a good night, guys.
Cheers, mate. Sub to his channel, everyone, too. Don't forget that. AFL Rookie Coach. Give him a sub. Follow his few weeks in the season to go. He's just taking a punt, and he'll be going down to probably 0 trades. So it's always harder the first year Supercoacher. I remember did it in COVID, so I was just doing it to see who jumped on and whatever. It didn't really matter. It's just a bit of fun in the game, and very, very nice guy. I finally got to meet him. Messaged him a few times on Twitter and whatnot. Had a kick at the footy today. And yeah, it's good fun to meet some people through the Supercoach community because I don't have a huge friend group, but these guys all in the Supercoach community seem to be very genuine people, which is a very good thing to have. Yeah, Kevin got a 2-4-2-7. That's bloody good, I reckon, this week. So what did he do? Captain Sarong, same as me. Unfortunately, Kevin. So I mean, 84 against Richmond's pretty poor, but he got tagged. So what do you do? Alex got Curnow 2 weeks ago over Caldwell, and Caldwell's just scored like a 134. So that's pretty wild. How are you meant to predict that though? Like that you're going to lose 100 points. It's sort of like that Rosie and Clary. Like you're not going to expect that many points shifted in a week between two players that you went and got. So stiff, JJ. Well, North coming off a win, and Fisher has been sub already this year. Oh no, I forgot about that. So he really could sub or in the twos. Yeah, and that's what I'm scared about. I'm actually very scared that Fish could be starting as sub and score 30. So if he's starting sub next week, I might punt him or try to get a 23rd and go down to one trade and just full send it. But that's bloody. It's a tough season, and like, we've actually escaped a lot of carnage till the last couple of weeks. So I'm a little bit nervous now. Edge is backing up that call. What are we? 9:30. I was looking at these rookie players because I didn't get to watch a whole heap. But Manning's gone 118. Logan Evans is not on the bubble anymore, but he's done an 86. Jacob Blight got subbed out with an 86, so he's probably decent cover. I think Jacob Blight plays the rest of the season for the Tigers. Not that people are looking at downgrade rookies, but if you had to, this week I like Jacob Blight and Sean Manningham. Even if he goes to 200k, it wouldn't be the worst idea. Sure, he's bought himself a month. What did he do stat-wise? What if he got some CBAs in there as well? What did he do? Good hold for people that had to hold him. Yeah, I would have been kissed with that hold, especially if he had to field him this week. But you would take getting kissed in Supercoach, that's for sure. What did he do? Wow. 2 goals. He had 14 tackles, 20 disposals. No, he missed 2 goals. My bad. He got 2 behinds. Okay. Interesting. What did he get centre bounce attendances? He had only 3 centre bounce attendances. Time on ground, 96 minutes out of a possible 122, so that's decent enough. And maybe he plays like a high half forward. By the heat map, it looks like basically to be like a midfield / high half forward, pushing up to stoppage potentially if he's not in the CBAs. Good role. He's 26, so he should know. Consistency in these games definitely there. And then the other bloke was Blight. I don't know why they sub Blight out for Richmond. That doesn't make any sense to me. Jacob Blight. What did he do? He only had it 13 times for an 80 score. That's pretty good. 4 marks, 7 disposals, 8 handballs. Stupid sub tactic is just ridiculous. Why would you just want to play a bloke for the rest of the season and they sub him out? I'm not really sure how I feel about Uze, to be honest. He hasn't had much luck with the side, but whatever. JJ, good point. Wonder if anyone interesting gets forward DPP this week. I don't think there is anyone I can think of. I feel like if there was, we would have heard it. Or on Twitter, or old mate Jaden would have posted these thoughts, I reckon, by now. I guess we'll find out. I'd love to know where my ranking is to now at the moment. Is it updated finally? Oh, it looks like it might be loading. Supercoach, are you open? It's on that big loading screen, so maybe I can give my ranking. I'll do check out the round 17 team of the week. Yeah, okay. Supercoach is open now, FYI, I think. It's taken forever, though, mind you. I'll check it out in a second once it decides it wants to jump on. Corey, I have Logan Evans, but so annoying. We'll have to trade him. Yeah, no. As I won't be able to keep him as cover, as need one more preem. Sorry, need more. What has he written? Need one more preem, which he was defensive mid. Yeah, bit of a stitch up. Could have traded Jai Clark and Kruger instead. Oh, no. I lost ranking again. Not by much, but I've been pushed out to 11,175. So, oh, no. 849 ranks down. So 2 weeks of negative again. Top 6% total score. So that's not too bad. Still disappointing. What can I do with my final couple trades? I wish I had a boost this time of year. That's what's annoying. Joel Frazier, what's your... He's made me a little bit of money. Break even is 61. He can get stuffed. He's at 300k, and Joe Richards has probably got a high break even because he scored poorly. 79. So what can I do if I cull them both? Let's have a look, because I got no other money elsewhere. Chuck us where you in the comments what your ranking is now, as JJ has done. Went up 846 spots, so which were the reverse, into 2584. Yeah, that's good. I just wish I was in top 3K anywhere. So 623 for a spare 23rd primo. I think I'm going to just full send it. How much did McCurchy go up though? That's going to kill me. If McCurchy's close to 500k, I'm going to lose my damn head. McCurchy's 444k. I could grab him as a 23rd for Took Miller. Or could I just do one trade and do that? Because I got 67,000. I cannot do that. Man, that sucks. I've got to figure out something. I'm not going to play conservative anymore. Weekly winner scored 2732. What the hell? The weekly winners, what did he have? Let me have a look. Weekly winner. How do I even find that on here right now? Yeah, interesting. I was waiting for this, Jimmy. Oh, wow, went up. Wow, okay. So 2431 and he went up 57. Must have been a lot of carnage in common players that everyone have. Maybe you had some uniques. That's interesting. It'd be interesting. How many trades left you got, Jimmy? Because hopefully you can keep going up. If everyone's burnt their trades and you've still got trades left with this carnage, you might be laughing to top 20. JG, I've gone from 8.2k, wow, yep, to 2.5k in 6 weeks. Yeah, okay. 7 weeks left. You can climb easily still, hopefully. It depends what I do with my last couple trades. I've got to be smart about it, which I haven't been all season. 2742, I meant. Still a big score. I don't know how my app won't show me. I should have clicked the link as soon as my Supercoach team told me to have a look at the weekly winner. What do you go into? Ranking for the week? Chevy Titans is still number 1. That's wild. I've seen him a couple times. I think he even gave me a follow the other day on Twitter, so that was pretty sick. Maybe he watches the channel. That's how he got so good. Absolutely joking. But so score for the round 2732. Battlers. Yeah, okay. Alex. His overall score is 27,000 and bloke just pulled a 1k rank for the week. Sheasel, Sicily, Ed Richards, Blakey, Stewart, and Sard as his players. So they've gone 103, 142, 116, 148, 97, 118. That's okay. My Supercoach hasn't updated then, JG. That's weird. Bont has gone. He's captain Bont, so he's gone the double 157. Flanders 114. He's got Flanders in his midfield. Dacos in his midfield as well, 116. Neil 114. Dunkley 143. Walsh 148. Dawson 94. Tom Grant once. This can't be right. This is the week after, and this is not right. That doesn't make any sense. That can't be the team. I think my app is stitching me up. That can't be the team. That's last week's. I'm losing my mind here. Why is it giving me round 16? Why is it not giving me round 17? Stop. I'll just throw my phone away. Stupid Supercoach app. Look like an idiot. He had Neil as captain. Well, my phone is telling me round 16, not round 17. Stupid thing. Jimmy, I have 3 trades left, but I have Rankin, Heaney, Fish, oh no, and Gov. Luckily I have a 23rd to cover McGovern. Okay, so it's fine there. But the other 3 might have to use some trades. I think you would for your ranking. Okay, so my app's definitely telling me that I've got the week before. That's annoying. Nah, team was toothless. All right, I'm grab my phone because I just chucked it after that. It'll be 2 seconds. Absolute dummy spit. I've done a Chris Scott. All right, I'm going to have a look at this team, toothless. Toothless, what are you doing? Oh, wow, there's some weird toothless names in here. Which one is it, though? Is it by Jaden or Luke? Or Willie? Surely it's by Jaden. Oh, no. All right. That's a crazy side. I'm going to have to go. I've got a call. I've got to answer. So I'll leave the stream there anyway. I'll catch you on the next one. I've definitely got to go. It's my son calling. So I'll speak to you later. Thanks for watching. Give us a like if you enjoyed. And I'll catch you on the next.